In one of the greatest cities the ancient world had ever known, where wealth, power, and kingdoms rose and fell, there lived a man who possessed something no king could ever buy, an unshakable faith. His name was Daniel. He was not a warrior. He did not command armies. He wore no crown. But he possessed something that troubled those who desired power: integrity. For many years, Daniel served at the highest levels of government. He served under different kings and witnessed the rise and fall of empires. Yet through every change, one thing remained the same. Daniel remained faithful. King Darius recognized what many already knew. Daniel was different. Among all the administrators in the kingdom, Daniel stood above the others. His wisdom, honesty, and dedication were unmatched. But when God places someone in a position of influence, not everyone celebrates their success. Some people become jealous. Others search for a way to destroy what they cannot overcome. The other leaders began watching Daniel closely. They searched for mistakes. They looked for weaknesses. They tried to find something they could use against him before the king. But they found nothing. No corruption, no dishonesty, no failure. Daniel was faithful in everything he did. Then they realized something. The only way to defeat Daniel was to attack the one thing he valued most: his faith. They approached King Darius with a carefully designed plan. They convinced him to create a new law. For 30 days, no one in the kingdom would be allowed to pray or make requests to anyone except the king himself. To them, it was the perfect trap. They knew Daniel would never abandon his relationship with God. The king, unaware of their true intentions, signed the decree. And in that moment, Daniel's fate seemed to be sealed. When Daniel heard about the new law, he understood exactly what it meant. If he continued praying, he would become a criminal. If he stopped praying, he would deny the God he served. So Daniel did something extraordinary. He returned to his house, he opened his windows, he got down on his knees, and he prayed, just as he had always done. Daniel did not pray because he was unaware of the danger. He prayed because he knew God was greater than the danger. The men who had been waiting for that moment rushed to tell the king. They finally had their accusation. Daniel had broken the king's command. King Darius was deeply troubled. He realized he had been deceived. He respected Daniel and tried desperately to find a way to save him. But the law of the Medes and Persians could not be changed. Daniel was sentenced. His punishment was terrifying. He would be thrown into the lion's den. That night, as Daniel walked toward the darkness, surrounded by powerful beasts, one question echoed: where was God? Many people ask the same question when they face impossible situations. When doors close, when injustice seems to win, when fear becomes stronger than hope. But Daniel's story reveals a powerful truth. God's presence does not mean the absence of problems. It means you never face those problems alone. Daniel was thrown into the den. A massive stone was placed over the entrance. And King Darius said, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." That night the king could not sleep. He did not celebrate. He did not find joy in what had happened. At the first light of morning, he ran to the lion's den. With a voice filled with hope, he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" Then came the answer, an answer that changed everything. "May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions." Daniel was alive, without a single injury, without fear. The lions were there, but the power of God was greater. King Darius finally understood what Daniel had always known. The true God does not abandon those who trust in him. The people who planned Daniel's destruction were defeated by their own scheme, and Daniel continued serving the kingdom. Not because he never faced difficulties, but because he remained faithful when difficulties came. The story of Daniel reminds us that some pits are not the end of our story. Sometimes the place where we think we will be destroyed is the exact place where God reveals his power. When everything seems lost, when everyone says it is over, when fear seems impossible to overcome. Remember this: The God who shut the mouths of lions is still able to open doors that no one can close. This is the story of Daniel, a man who lost his freedom but never lost his faith, a man surrounded by lions yet protected by the living God.